Growing up in the 80s in New York City had to be one of the most explosive music scenes in the country. You have hip hop doing everything. There's B-boys, there's DJs, there's rappers, there's graffiti, there's the fashion, like everything about the hip hop era in the 80s was New York City. That's where DJ CASSIDY thrived. As a kid, this 10-year-old asked his parents to grab him some turntables for his birthday. Not really thinking he would get it. When they arrived, his life changed. He began collecting vinyl on the weekends. It was a kid that didn't really have a social life. His social life was record stores, finding a new album, getting that album, then finding the next one after that. Being a hip hop head and loving the culture and knowing that at some point, this culture had ties to the past. This hip hop loving, Illmatic listening kid finds the 60s and 70s soul music to be a comfort zone for him. He starts DJing, he starts spinning these old records. He ends up as a 17-year-old DJing and finds a party that Puffy ends up coming into. Puffy being the master of music that you may want to call him, takes this kid and says, yo, I want you to work with me. CASSIDY goes to the Hamptons, DJs Puffy's party. The rest is history. This man has DJ parties for Puffy numerous times, and then other celebrities such as J-Lo, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, and then breaks the glass ceiling completely and ends up at the White House DJing the presidential inauguration. When you get to the point where he's at right now, when he's passing the mic from artist to artist and literally DJing people, it's almost unreal to see what this guy has accomplished. If you think that DJ CASSIDY popped up on the scene this year, you may need to get your hip hop history a little together. So today we're going to sit down and chop it up with DJ CASSIDY for a brief second, ask him a couple of questions about his upbringing in the hip hop culture and what he's looking forward to doing this Sunday for the Mother's Day Pass the Mic celebration. As always, kick back, relax. You are now tuned into Suave TV with DJ CASSIDY. Okay, so one, just to get started, I did my research. I know you started at 10, you got your first set of turntables. What made you ask for turntables for your birthday?
Hip hop made me ask for turntables for my 10th birthday. I was a hip hop kid since I, was a baby, as far back as I could remember. I was obsessed with this movie Breakin' as a 3-year-old kid. And soon thereafter that, I became obsessed with Run DMC. And all I wanted was to take part in this music and this culture that I was so enamored by. And for my 10th birthday, I asked my parents for 2 turntables and a mixer, and DJ CASSIDY was born.
It changed your life.
Changed my life.
You go from that, you start mastering your craft. You turn 17, you end up DJing, Diddy finds you at a party. And then you go from that to DJing all of his parties, J-Lo, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and then you end up at the White House. Like, what did that do to you?
Well, my journey as a DJ has been surreal. I would have never predicted this journey. I would have never dreamt about this journey because I don't have such wild dreams.
Yeah.
I only really ever wanted my favorite rappers to know my name. That was really the only dream I ever had. I wanted Run to know me. I wanted Russell Simmons and Andre Harrell to know me. I wanted Tretch to know me. I wanted Q-Tip to know me.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that all those people I just named became my friends and my mentors. So I've lived my dream many times over. I never imagined that I would DJ for my heroes and travel the world with my heroes, and never imagined in my wildest fantasy that I would be the first DJ to ever play a presidential inauguration or the first DJ to ever play at the White House. And as I look back on the Obama years, and I look back on the memories of DJing both of his inaugurations, his 50th birthday, Michelle's 50th birthday, and so many other parties at the White House, I have to pinch myself. Those nights don't even seem real. I'm grateful that I have these notes from the president and the first lady and all the photographs that were taken that are all on my wall in kind of like a shrine to this incredible 8 years of my life. But I've been really lucky to have had many pinch me moments. And I'm just so grateful because, again, as a 10-year-old kid, it was not my dream. I could never have dreamt that big.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you get to the Pass the Mic thing, which I know kind of spawned from the Earth, Wind & Fire session that you did for your album. You're like the first DJ to DJ people, literally. Like you're shuffling
I love that.
artists as they're singing, which is dope when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like when you did it the first time, did you think it would turn into what it is now?
Absolutely not. I filmed my first artist for the first episode of Pass the Mic on May 1st. So the 1-year anniversary of my first shoot just passed. I took about 2 months to put together that first episode because I was in no rush.
Yeah. I
had no grand vision for this show. It was a small, innovative idea that I thought could be special and fun and maybe touch a few people. I had no idea that the show would receive such a profoundly emotional reaction from people.
Yeah.
People would write on YouTube that they cried when they watched, and they've watched a dozen times, and people who were sick with COVID in the hospital telling me they watched the show on loop, and really emotional comments. You have to read them to believe them. If I were to recite them, you'd almost think I was making them up because they're so over the top emotional in really profound and inspiring ways. I had no idea. I never thought I'd be sitting here a year later promoting a special on BET. This is now my 3rd special on BET, and there are 4 more in store for the rest of the year. I was called by the Presidential Inaugural Committee to produce 2 Pass the Mic segments for the inauguration that aired on every network across television that 40 million people watched. I would have never, ever, ever thought that so many people would be touched by this format, which is really what it is. It's a new format that somehow has touched people because of its intimate, personal nature.
Yeah, absolutely. What should we expect for the Mother's Day Pass the Mic?
Well, if you've seen the first 5 episodes of Pass the Mic, if you've loved seeing Earth, Wind & Fire, Kool and the Gang, Shaka Khan, El DeBarge, Sheila E., Morris Day, Jody Watley, if you've loved seeing LL Cool J, Chuck D, Run DMC, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Naughty by Nature, Salt and Pepper, if you've loved seeing Drew Hill, 112, Soul For Real, Adina Howard, Missy Elliott, and Mace, if you've loved seeing those artists, if you've loved the surprises, if you've loved the prolific records, if they've made you smile, if they've made you happy, you do not want to miss this show on Sunday. This is a continuation, an extension of what we've done, taken to a different level, because this time we are celebrating mothers and women. They are the foundation. They are who make the world go round. And we're going to be really celebrating this time in emotion. And that emotion is love. We're celebrating the spirit of love on Sunday. And every record and every artist on the show exudes love. So if you want to feel love, tune in.
Nice. Last question. Do you still have your vinyl collection? If so, how expansive is it at this point?
My vinyl collection is in the same precise condition it is when I stopped using vinyl. which was in the mid-2000s when technology changed. I have not continued to collect vinyl, but I have kept my previous collection intact. I moved to LA several years ago. I left it in New York. I'm gonna move it out to LA at some point and build an incredible record room. And I gotta tell you, being away from the vinyl for years is exciting, because when I open those crates that I put into storage and put them up on the wall, it's gonna be a fun time.
Nice. I look forward to that picture, man, because I know you guys have like serious collections. So
serious.
Looking forward to it, man. Well, good luck Sunday.
Thank you.
I'll definitely be tuned in. Again, I love what you're doing. It is something that is moving people. So
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Talk to you later. Here you go. I mean, that it just goes to show, when you have a passion, you have a passion. You should follow it. You never know where it's going to take you. I mean, being a kid and just wanting to DJ and listen to music and have that music at his hands, literally at his fingertips, this kid turns into one of the biggest DJs in the world right now. Cassidy is doing something absolutely amazing. And like he said, his music and his DJ productions have touched people all over the world. Healthy, sick, young, old, white, black, male, female, it doesn't matter. Music is something that drives all of us. It's something that brings us all together. It's something that we can enjoy and just kick back, relax, and have fun with. So make sure you guys tune in to DJ Cassidy's Mother's Day Pass the Mic celebration on BET. And until next time, y'all stay suave. Peace.